just got a bite. I think that was a nice Sierra, but it came off right as I set the hook. Let's see, I think there's a school out there because I also saw one jump close to shore. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm back in CABO and I'm out here. We've been here since 5 in the morning and it's about 6:30 now, so the sun's gonna come up and we've been fishing in the dark, so super cool. But we're after some Sierra mackerel. So yeah, back in CABO. I've been trying to travel as much as I can. You know, I'm taking a gap year right now, really trying to make the most of it despite COVID. So whenever there's a window for me to travel safely, I'll take it. For those of you asking about the Bay Area videos, you know, there will be more coming out. I filmed a couple while I was there. I'll be back. I'll film some more. But you look at the description of my channel, it says this channel is about my fishing in Northern California and wherever my gap year takes me. So far, this is where my gap year has brought me, and we're surf casting for big Sierra mackerel. And you can see right now, sun's gonna come up behind me. But let me just tell you exactly what we're doing out here. So I got my 12-6 rod and I got it spooled up with 30-pound braid, and then my reel is this Daiwa Saltist 6500. It's a fast retrieve reel because the fish out here are very quick. These mackerel, you know, they're streamlined bodies, so super fast fish. It's meant for speed. It's a very visual predator, so we're using these flashy metals because once that metal flashes in front of it and it locks in, it'll just speed right up to it and smack it, even if you're reeling exceptionally fast, much faster than I would over in Northern California for sure. So I was throwing this little metal and I got a bite. I got a solid bite, but it didn't stay on. And then I think I had a really small fish on for like 4 seconds or something, but I could barely even tell it was a fish. This metal is great. You know, it's like 3 ounces, so I can cast this about a mile, but we're seeing the Sierra jump really close to shore. So I'm actually gonna put on something a little flashier. I'm gonna put on a spoon, a little metal spoon. So I'm gonna show you what that is, and hopefully that'll allow me to reel a little bit slower while keeping more action, so that spoon wobbles a lot, and hopefully it'll attract a bite near shore, which is where we're seeing these Sierra jump, because I think they're chasing some anchovies. So match the hatch, baby. So I'm switching from 3-ounce metal sardine looking jig. I'll slap on this spoon right here. This one I'm gonna put on. You can see just by its shape, it's meant to wobble. So this thing, you can reel it pretty slowly, and it's just gonna be wobbling a ton. This lure's name, actually in Mexico, they call it a borracho, which means the drunk. So it looks like someone who's walking drunk. So pretty wobbly, and that hopefully will attract the fish. You know, fish like drunk looking lures. So clip this on. There we go. Let's get this thing casted. I think this is 2 ounces. So I should be able to cast this thing pretty far. Ooh, look at this. Little bait fish washed up on shore right now. I'll throw this guy back in. But look at that. So a lot of times they get pushed up to the beach by the predators because they'll be getting chased, and then they'll beach themselves without trying to. That is a pretty good indicator that there's some fish on shore. And we're literally seeing him jump every once in a while. Just saw a humpback whale breach out there. Wow. Yep, full breach all the way over there. We saw a lot of whales yesterday, and basically these guys, they're migrating down the Pacific right now, down the Pacific coast. So they're actually passing through California. Yep, there it is. There it is. Wow. Same whales, you know, because this is the same coast, just way down south of where I normally fish it. So these whales, I think they're starting way in the North Pacific, Alaska region, and then in the winter they come seeking the warmer waters down here because they serve as great nurseries for their calves. So let me show you how I'm swimming this thing. I'm just gonna cast it out, and this is 2-ounce metal, so with this 12-6 rod I can literally cast it a mile, or definitely way over 100 yards, a good amount over 100 yards. So once it hits the water, I'll let it sink for a couple of seconds. Between 4 and 7 seconds should do the trick, and then once it's sank, give it a fast retrieve at start, and then I can pop my rod a little bit. I'm just giving it a little more action. Then as it's getting closer, you know, I can let it flutter down, put my rod tip down, and then up, and then reel down, and then back up, and then reel down. So basically, that's making that spoon wobble so much when I pull it, and I can actually feel it. I can just feel the rod tip, and that's what's really nice about having a sensitive tip on your rod. You'll feel everything. So if you've been following along my CABO videos, when I was here last time, I only fished top water basically, and now that I'm here in the winter, the species have changed, the method of fishing has changed, and it's much more subsurface. So right as the sun comes up is a great time for these Sierra, because since they're hitting metals mostly, the metal will catch the sun and it'll be much flashier than in the dark. So you can see sun's rising behind me, got the beautiful pink skies ahead of me, so really good time. I think we're gonna hook up soon. Fish on, there we go. We're on. Woo. Yep. Oh, this is a nice one. Taking some drag. There we go. Feels good to be back, baby. Yeah. I think it's a Sierra. But this is a nice one, because you know a lot of times they're not super big. So I think I hooked into a pretty decent one. So I'm just bringing it in nice and slowly, nice and soft. A lot of these times, these fish will shake the hook. They're kind of, you know, you hook a lot and then you lose a lot when it comes to these fish. So let's get this guy out here. So I'm just walking backwards here, and that'll do it. Yeah, a Sierra. That's a Sierra. First fish of the day, baby.
El ceviche, papá.
El ceviche. Kind of important to immobilize them a little bit because they can shake around. They can put a hook straight through your finger. There we go. All right, so this fish is gonna be made into ceviche. Super good eating. So this is a nice Sierra mackerel. You can see the beautiful colors on this fish. Guys, unreal, honestly. This is one of the prettiest fish I've probably caught. And then you can see he's got a pretty toothy mouth. So a lot of times these guys will chomp through your leader. I'm using 50-pound fluoro, so it's pretty tough, but you know, a lot of times you'll lose a lot of lures fishing for these guys. All right, let's get back to it. I think we can pick up a couple more, hopefully. A lot of times we'll travel in schools, so if I caught one now, they might be hitting. And just as I said, look, sunrise. So sunrise is the ticket. There we go, look at that, he's on. Literally 3 minutes after mine, so they're definitely traveling in schools. He's on. It looks like he might have a smaller one, but these are still really strong fighters for their size. Ooh, it just came off. C'est ça va? It just came off right at the wave break. You lose a lot of these fish, you know, between them chomping through your leader and hell no. I'm wearing shoes right now. It's kind of cold, but between them chomping through your leader and just the hook coming out or getting ripped out of their mouth, pretty low land rate. So we're gonna head over to the rocks now to see if we can pick up a leopard grouper. They haven't really been catching any yet, but we're gonna give it a shot. You never know. All right, so we just got over to these rocks. So I'm gonna switch out my gear because this is way too light for these leopard groupers. This is 30-pound braid, so that'll just get instantly cut on one of these rocks with that much tension. So I'm literally slapping on a new reel. I brought 2 reels with me. So this is a Penn Fierce II, I think. It's kind of old, but this one I'm using for like sturgeon and for sharks in the Bay Area. So pretty good heavy reel. The only reason a lot of people don't use Penn out here is because Penn have very strong reels, but they're not very fast. So out here you need a fast reel for a lot of the surf fish. But for the rocks, for snapper and the grouper, they're quicker fish. They're not that fast, so slower reel should be fine. And I'm just using an FG knot for my leader. So FG knot, strongest knot out here for sure. Takes like a full minute to tie, but it's so worth it, and it's such a satisfying knot to tie. If you don't know how to tie it, do yourself a favor, learn how to tie it. If you tie it correctly, it almost looks like the braid has been woven onto your leader. So beautiful knot. For my leader, using this 80-pound fluoro, So super strong. And I'm gonna use a really long leader just because of the rocks. Longer leaders are way better on the rocks because fluoro will not break nearly as easily as braid will if it gets rubbed on a rock. So this is over an arm's length. So here's my FG knot, 65-pound braid to 80-pound fluoro. And got a clip down here, so I'm gonna put this thing on. Big Nomad lure, so just clipping it on. Alrighty, look at this thing. Beautiful lure, super cool. It's like iridescent. I've used it before, but haven't had any luck. I tried it when I was here last time to look for some snapper, but they just were not around. I'm gonna walk out on these rocks just a little bit and we'll cast it out here. I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm swimming this thing, and hopefully we can get a grouper or a snapper. Anything out here would be super cool. Rock fishing at its best, I'm gonna make sure my drag is tightened super tight. So that's way too loose. And just because if I hook a fish here, I don't want it to run that much. Woo! I want to just muscle that thing in, because the more it runs, the more likely it is to just find a rock to end my lure on. A couple of months ago, I hooked a massive monster jack on the rocks and it broke me off, and that's just the nature of fishing with 30-pound braid out here. But now I'm ready. Now I'm prepared. So I'm casting out. Got the 65-pound braid now. So I'm casting out, and for this thing, I'm gonna swim it. I'm gonna just kind of pull it in little circles. It'll swim slower, but that's just gonna make it flutter underwater. So every time I pull it, that lure is going like this, and that is just bouncing light beams off it, and it's just flashing around, attracting fish. Hopefully we'll get us a bite, but slower with this one. You know, I'm going for a fish that's quicker rather than fast. So and I see fish feeding way out there outside my casting range with this line and with this lure. If I had the lighter line, maybe. If I had a different lure, maybe. But with this combo, no way I can reach it out there. But yeah, fish feeding. Oh, they're coming closer. They're coming closer. They're coming closer. Okay, I'm gonna have a nice cast as far as I can. Okay, that's a pretty good cast. Come on. Yeah, I think that might be in the range. Maybe. There's something feeding out there, so I'm gonna put my other reel on here so I can cast further. And we think it's more Sierra mackerel, so we're gonna go for those. And then there might have also been some jacks that I saw from the rocks, but they weren't taking this, and no luck out here. So we're just gonna switch back to what we were doing before. So I switched my reel. I'm back with 30-pound. See if we can pick up a fish. We have a big pot of dolphins swimming all the way out there. Super nice. We've seen whales, dolphins, everything out here. Those over there are bottlenose dolphins. These are the typical dolphin. The dolphin that pops into your head when you think of dolphin, that's the bottlenose dolphin. So they're very friendly. That's why people love them, you know? It's charismatic megafauna. All right, guys, well, that's all the fish for today. It looks like only one Sierra wanted to come out to play, but we did go after the groupers as well as the Sierra, so not a bad day. This is the outcome. So this is gonna be my lunch. I think I'm gonna ceviche this thing later, and just absolutely delicious and gorgeous fish. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, tight lines.